Hello everyone and welcome to another workout. This workout is completely core focused. You don't need any equipment, but if you do have a band, there's an option for that. I'm going to take you through our warm-up. These are the 4 exercises we're going to run through, 30 seconds a piece, and it will repeat twice. We are going to get started with a jumping jack. Here you want to make sure that your feet are moving quickly, your arms and your legs are nice and tight, you're not flopping around over there. Good, we're going to move into a high toe tap. So similar to a toe tap on the floor, but since this is a core focus workout, I want you to start using your lower abs to bring that knee, or your foot rather, up, and then your hand is crossing to the middle to meet that foot. Great, relax. We're going to move into a plank walkout. Here you're going to start with your legs with a soft bend in the knee, and you're reaching towards the ground, walking out into a plank, holding for just a second, and then walking back up. I like to really squeeze my glutes there at the top. That's going to make sure my hamstrings and my posterior chain are being activated here. Good. Okay, we're going straight into an alternating reverse lunge. So you're just switching the feet back and forth. You're taking a nice big step backwards, bend in that back knee. Upper body is fairly straight. This is great for warming up your hip flexors, your legs, your glutes, raising your heart rate. Okay, we're going to go back to the top. Jumping jacks are next. We're going to move into those toe taps in just a second. Good. Okay, so here, since this is the second time through, try really hard to push yourself more with these cardio intervals. You really want to make sure that your heart rate is raised and you're starting to break a sweat before we even get into the workout. That's going to make sure that your muscles are nice and warm and more elastic-like, and less likely to hurt or rip or tear. Get back to those plank walkouts. Not a whole lot of time between these warm-up intervals because it is just a warm-up. The exercises are a little less intense than what we will get into here in just a few seconds. Good. Last set of reverse lunges. Remember, you're alternating those feet. You're pressing through that front heel to bring yourself back to the starting position. In just a few seconds, we are going to move on to round 1. These exercises are similar to the last workout we did together, where they're 30 seconds a piece. The strength movements will repeat twice, and our cardio intervals in between will be 1 minute. Okay, so we've got an alternating cross-body crunch, which is coming up first. So here, you're going to stand with your elbows up by your ears, and you're just crossing the elbow to the knee. Similar to that the toe tap we did in the warm-up. Here you're thinking about a tighter core, really crunching through those obliques. Your lower abs are working because your knee is coming up above your hip. Your upper abs are working because your elbow is coming towards your hip. And your obliques are working because you're crossing. Good. We're moving into a slow mountain climber. So you're going to be in a high plank position, and you're bringing one knee in at a time, just nice and slow. Think about using those lower abs to perform this movement rather than letting momentum take over like you would in a quicker, more traditional mountain climber. My back is nice and flat here. You're not craning your neck in either direction. Your lats are locked in, so your neck isn't tense right now. Good. Okay, we're moving into a Superman with a lat pull down. So here, arms and legs in opposite directions. You're going to be lifting both your hamstrings and your upper body, and then you're pulling the elbows back to really engage those lats here. A big part of core work, which I find a lot of people neglect, is the posterior chain, the back side of their bodies. So many people focus on your core, your abs, front of the body, but we forget that your lower back is a very big part of your core in general. So we want to make sure that's healthy too. Okay, we're moving into a plank to push up. So you're going to start in a high plank, lower yourself down to a push up, small back extension, and then pressing right back up. The key here is to not peel yourself off the ground. You want your whole entire body to come up in a straight line all at the same time. You're not peeling your upper body off the ground before your thighs leave the mat. Good. Okay, back to the top. We're moving back to that cross body crunch. Again, second time through, a little bit quicker maybe. Your heart rate's raised. You're used to the movements here. You can move through them a little bit faster. Really focusing on squeezing through the core as you twist. Two seconds. Nice job. Okay, we're going back to that slow mountain climber. Good. And the more you do these, the more flexible you're going to become through your hip flexors. And as that happens, feel free to push the boundaries there and lift that knee higher. Good. Relax. Back to that Superman with a lat pull. Up and pull, and back to the front and down. Good. Really think about driving your belly button into the mat here as you squeeze your glutes and you pull your lats back and down. I love this exercise. This is a complete posterior chain movement. Everything's working here. Okay, back to those plank to push up. Remember, you're starting in your high plank, lower yourself down, baby back extension, and then straight up. You can do this from your knees as well if you want to leave your knees on the ground. There's my buddy. Notice he's not participating in the workout whatsoever. right, a few more seconds here and we're going to get into our first cardio interval. Okay, so we've got a high knee run paired with a traditional quick mountain climber. Each for 30 seconds, 10 seconds in between. We only do it once. So with your high knees, you really want to focus on leaning back so that your knees can come up as high as they possibly can. There, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what my elbows are doing. I'm thinking about driving my elbows into my back pockets, into my hips. Remember, we only do this once, so push, push, push. Good, relax. Okay, you're down to the mat for that fast mountain climber. Same position as the slow mountain climber we did earlier, only this time the feet are moving faster. If you need to modify this at all, you can do it elevated. If you have a chair or a couch or a bench, or your stairs work great for this to put your hands up on. That gives your knees a little bit more room to bring them forward. Great. All right, we are going to take a short water break if you need to. Feel free to pause if you need more time, and we will get started on round 2. Okay, so round 2, we've got a reverse lunge with a knee lift to start us off. So you're going to choose one leg and you're going to stay on that leg the whole time. Reverse lunge, bring the knee up. Really think about using those lower abs to lift your knee above your hip. If you have a weight that you want to hold, that's a great option to make this harder. If you are having a hard time with the balance here, don't lift the knee, just tap the toe. Good. We're moving into a torso twist. So here's where that band is optional. You're going to wrap the band around your hands, sink into a nice low squat, and you're turning very controlled, very slow turns to each side. You should feel that all through your obliques. I like to tuck my tailbone up underneath myself so my lower abs are engaged. Shoulder blades are down and back. Great. Okay, we're going back to that reverse lunge, only on the opposite side. See up in the corner there, I'm showing you that modification. You don't have to raise the knee. You can tap the toe if you're having a hard time with balance. Nice work. Okay, we're going to move to the floor. Arms and legs are stretched in opposite directions. We're going into a roll up. So here, I do want you to peel your upper body off the ground and reach those hands past the toe. Nice slow lower. Really fight the gravity on that way down. and trying not to use momentum to pick yourself up. You should really feel this burn through your upper abs, your middle abs. This is a great exercise, one of my favorites. Great, okay, we are back to the top on that reverse lunge with a knee lift on the first side. You see here that with all of these workouts, I like to pair or alternate more cardiovascular exercises with less intense movements. That way your heart rate is getting really, really high. Like with these lunges, they're much more cardiovascular than either of the core focused exercises. Great, so we're back to that torso twist. Good, so what I was saying was I like to pair a more cardiovascular exercise with a less intense version. That way your heart rate is still staying up while you're working on those less intense movements, keeping the calorie burn high through those movements that might be less difficult for you. Good. Opposite side with the lunge. And again, pulling through that front heel, not the ball of the foot, but the heel is going to keep the emphasis in your glutes. Okay, back to those roll-ups. Remember, you're peeling yourself off the ground here. You're not using momentum. You're trying to go as slow as possible and reach those hands past the toes. Big exhale on the way up. Slow, lower inhale on the way down. Just a couple seconds here to finish it out. We will go into our second cardio interval. We've got a rocket squat and a switch knee. So a rocket squat, as you will see in just a second, we're doing 3 different levels of a squat. 1, 2, 3, explode. 1, 2, 3, explode. Nice job. Really shift those hips back. Make sure you've got 1, 2, 3, and up. If you need a modification for this, take the jump out so that you lower in your 3 count and then just stand up without jumping the feet. This takes a lot of control, a lot of mental focus. Good. Okay, your switch knee looks like just what it sounds like. You're gonna drive one knee into the opposite elbow, switch the feet opposite side. Remember, we only do these cardio intervals once, and then you'll get your water break. Nice work. Grab a drink. Again, feel free to skip ahead if you're good to go, or pause if you need a longer rest. Okay, round 3 is starting off with a squat to a side kick on either side. And then we're going to move into an inner thigh lift and a glute bridge hold. So here you can see I'm squatting and I'm kicking to the side, all on one leg. Really think about driving that heel to the side. This is a fantastic exercise for your heart rate, for your core, for your stability, your balance, your leg definition, everything. Three seconds, we're gonna move to the opposite side. Shake it out. That stabilizing leg might be a little stiff. Good. Again, driving through the heel is gonna put the emphasis on that glute. It's also going to help protect your knees. You don't want to snap kick when you're not kicking anything because you could hyperextend the knee. Always thinking about pushing something away from you. Awesome. Okay, we're going down to the mat for an inner thigh lift or an adductor lift. You're going to bend that knee behind and the leg in front is just going to lift upwards. Notice how I'm not laying my leg completely on the ground. It's always hovering. I'm kind of sitting back on my hip. We're just doing one side this round, so remember which side you did so that the second time we go through this, you can do the opposite side. Okay, you're going to flip over onto your back, get your heels as close to your glutes as you can, and we're going to raise the hips and just hold. This is another one of those posterior chain exercises that's super important when you're working your core. You don't ever want to neglect your lower back as part of a core workout. Driving through the heels, putting all the pressure in the hamstrings and your glutes. Nice work. This is going to start over. We've got back to those squats with a side kick. And just remember, we're all going to have one side that's a little more balanced than the other side, so don't get frustrated or upset if you are losing your balance or if you can't stay stabilized on that one leg. Great, right into the other side, shake it out. We are almost done. Great, to the mat on that opposite side. Back to that adductor lift. Almost there. 3. Great. Okay, flip right over. Back to that glute bridge hold. If you have a weight or something that you want to place on your hips and hold it in place, that's a great option to make this movement a little bit harder. You could also cross one ankle over the opposite knee and do single leg glute bridge holds. Great, we will move into our last round of cardio. We've got a jump squat with a hip twist and a walking plank. So your jump squat with a hip twist is exactly what it sounds like. You're gonna jump squat, but at the top of that jump squat, you're turning the hips to the side. Get a little more twisting in here and really working on those obliques. Awesome. Okay, you're going to move to the mat in a low plank position. So you're walking plank, you're coming up on one hand and then coming up on the other and then walking it down. Trying to keep your hips as still as possible here. I like to try to remember to alternate which hand comes up and which hand goes down first, just to make sure that each one of my shoulders is getting enough work. Nice work, just a few seconds to cool down. Excellent job. All right, take a seat. We will get things cooled down. We've got 30 seconds per stretch here. We're going to start with a hamstring stretch. So you're going to tuck one leg in and reach for that opposite foot. If you can't reach the foot, go to the ankle, go to the knee, go to the heel if you can reach past your foot. And we're always cooling down with static stretches versus warming up with dynamic stretches here. Really want to stretch and lengthen out those muscles that we just worked. Good, you're going to go ahead and switch sides. Great, so you're going to cross one ankle over the opposite knee and really push that knee that's up, push that down. Really focus on feeling that stretch to the back of your glute, your hamstring. Opposite side. Wonderful. Okay, you're going to stretch out those shoulders. We've done lots of planks today. Gentle pull. Making sure that your shoulder blades are back and down. They're not hunched up by your neck, by your ears. Big deep breaths are going to bring that heart rate back down to normal. We're almost done, guys. Go ahead and switch sides. Moving into a chest stretch, you're going to get the backs of your hands as close to your back as you can and really push that chest upwards towards the sky. You can also clasp the fingers behind the back if that's more comfortable for you, but for me, this works better. Okay, we're gonna lay down, arms and legs stretched in opposite directions, and I just want you to work on stretching through your abdomen. So your hands and your legs are gonna stretch in opposite directions here. Okay guys, that is it. If you liked this, if you would like to see more, please subscribe and like the video. Comment below what you would like to see next.